My name is Patrick Glenboy. I am the Managing Deputy Director of STC Southern Africa. When we entered the maritime space, we extensively saw the opportunity to focus on vocational studies. Why vocational studies? Because we were looking at that time and even now to support those learners who exit schools at the levels of grade 9, grade 10, 11 and 12 that do not have the access or the means to enter universities of technologies, CPUT, DUT, maritime studies, because the requirement for those candidates are 60% in pure maths and science. If a student should exit the college at any level, N1, N2, N3, N4, 5 or 6, they can then enter this campus or this training center and start a career in maritime studies. Vocational, the entry level for seafarers to proceed to sea.
The course that I'm doing, which is TVET is sponsoring me with, is the basic life skills. That includes the firefighting, personal safety, the first aid, and the personal training.
My bursary was funded by TVET, the Transport Education Training Authorities. In order for me to complete my SWC training, the training basically taught me how to operate a board a ship, as I've never been aboard a ship. They teach me how to work safely, how to navigate around the boat.
Say for instance, a candidate leaving a N4 or N5 mechanical engineering at a college, he or she can enter the space at this institution, be presented with the mandatory requirement courses, and then also be allocated the qualifications in seafarers for able seafarer engine or able seafarer deck. This is then a stepping stone for those candidates, then eventually to become, if he or she completes his or her studies, and have the required sea time, do the submission of required documentation to the maritime authorities, and then develop a career from where he or she started, and even then at a later level enter the officers' space of seafarers.
Breath, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and breath and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Stop, breath, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Stop, go, breath. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Stop. Just feel for the pulse, put the hand up, hand over this area, and swap quickly.
I received an email from my employer, which is GRISA, to do the STCW certificate for the cruise ship, which is Vision Voyages. So when I came here, I was funded by TITA, which is Transport Education Training Authorities. So in one of my trainings, it was personal surviving training, which is very beneficiary for the cruise ship because you need to know how to survive being aboard at sea.
Of course, it did help me a lot because I did have these certificates before, but they expired now. So now they help a lot because of the money that we don't have. So it gave me an opportunity so that I can do it again. So it's going to be a good thing for me.
It benefited me in the way that it makes me to know if there is an emergency on a cruise ship, so what to do for me as a crew. So how to survive in a cruise ship, or if maybe I'm abandoning the ship, so I know everything to do in abandoning the ship.
Now, maritime studies is a very unknown sector for the underprivileged. What we do here is that we link with TVET colleges, and we encourage candidates to go to colleges and apply for NSFAS bursaries, do his or her studies, and then come across what we call, we marinize that student into the maritime sector. One of our flagship projects were a project with the National Skills Fund. Started in 2017, January, and the project ended in 2019, September, where we recruited 60 engineering students from Boland College, Northern College, College of Cape Town, False Bay College, and we introduced an Able Seafarer program to those candidates. These were candidates that completed their certifications at these colleges, but didn't have an opportunity to enter an apprenticeship. So what we did, we just said, come with your certification, we will apply for funding through the National Skills Fund and support you with the mandatory courses and add 2 qualification courses, academic courses to the program, which were the Able Seafarer Deck and the Able Seafarer Engine programs. Why we did the program like that is to give the candidate an opportunity to become like a dual function on board ships. Out of the 60 candidates we recruited, after 2019 in September, 48 of those candidates were employed in port operations. Now also, why port operations? That is where we saw the need that time within port operations for those candidates. You have vessels, ferries like the Robben Island ferries, Service Marine, Albatross Offshore, Pinar Marine, waterfront charters, you name it. That commercial entity were a sector that we could place those candidates successfully.
I studied through the Transport Education Training Authority, where I received a bursary to do all and complete all my courses I need for the cruise ships. I received a contract to join Virgin Voyages as a stewardess. So the course covers all the training I need to carry out my duties on board, from first aid training to survival techniques. The bursary pays for everything, so we do receive a stipend that can cover our transport costs to and from the training college.
Because we are a private company, we could qualify for discretionary grants through the Maritime SETA. And we have been involved with the Transport and Education and Training Authority, the TETA, for funding and support different candidates, unemployed and even employed.
My aspirations and my goals are to work myself up as a chef up in the ranks, and hopefully come back, start my own business and start training young South Africans as well.
From here, I'll be joining Virgin Voyages as the opening team for the Scarlet Lady, and then potentially in the future I would like to work on super yachts, so I must probably come back here again for more training.
My future plan is becoming a stewardess aboard in a cruise ship, and then from there I want to gain more experience, and then maybe I can become an executive in housekeeping, and then maybe a hotel director in maybe 20 years to come, or 15 or 10. So yeah, I love working aboard. I love working on cruise ships.
This is a sector that needs to be marketed, that needs to be made aware that anyone in South Africa can enter this space. And it's easy. It is so easy by just marketing the program, by the introduction of the maritime studies, and just encouraging those kids, wherever you're coming from, that there is a space for you in the maritime sector. Today we are finishing off with this project, and we have partners such as project partners, our local companies, De Beers Marine, Transnet Cape Town, the entire fishing industry in Cape Town, Sea Harvest, I&J, Viking Fishing. And these are the sectors that we engage continuously, so closely to support these courses and even the candidates that's unemployed to become employable within this sector.
Hi, my name is Benny Bali. I'm the Managing Director of Project Partners, as well as the interim chairperson for the Western Cape Maritime Cluster. Project Partners, we specialize in capacity building, training, as well as enterprise development. And the Western Cape Maritime Cluster is an umbrella body that was formed to assist the industry when it comes to building the capacity within the industry in the Western Cape and assisting businesses within the Western Cape to be able to do business and also to do regional promotion to attract more business in the area to assist the growth of the maritime economy. And as well as assisting when it comes to setting up an industry-wide research and development hub that will assist us in order for us to gather information that we'll be able to use to generate more business ideas, and also how we can build the maritime economy in the Western Cape moving forward. And also when it comes to maritime education, we work with a number of high schools within the Western Cape that we assist them when it comes to helping the students to get access to the maritime industry by giving them exposure of the industry, and also talk about the careers that are available in order for them to be able to build their own careers moving forward. And also this assists them when it comes to career choices as they progress in their studies, to have maritime as one of the options that is available for them to choose. Because there is one thing that it's not known to a number of South Africans, especially those who are geographically separated away or situated away from the coast and the ocean, that they get excluded in the maritime opportunities and maritime economy.
I'm one of the facilitators assisting also, or one of the facilitators at STC Maritime. And the facility is all about training seamen in various courses, be it firefighting, survival, and also first aid elementary, and also first aid, marine first aid and marine firefighting. There's also to prepare all of the students also in a career going to sea, and also it has to be validated every 5 years. So all of the students will have to come back every 5 years to validate their certificates according to the IMO standards, which is the IMO. The IMO is also the maritime arm of also the United Nations, right? So the local safety authority is South African Maritime Safety Authority, which is SAMTRA. They are also the safety authorities who also implements the mandate given by the Minister of Transport. Right, Chief? Emergency fire team on the way. First team party, first aid party on the way. Move towards, proceed to the scene. We now have the first aid party proceeding to the scene to evacuate the casualty that has been overcome by smoke. Stand by, casualty.
Right, fire team is coming out.
Fire team coming out.
Bridge, Chief Officer, over.
Chief Officer, bridge, go ahead.
Fire out of control, we're retrieving the guys, over.
Fire out of the control. Send 2 guys to prepare for mustering at the life raft station. Abandon, abandon, abandon. Stand by, stand by. Stand by. Right, abandon, abandon, abandon. Right, next, stand by. Right.
Ready?
Right, abandon. Jump.
My name is Paul Thomas. I'm the instructor or the facilitator for the firefighting at STC College, the Shipping and Transport College. I do the firefighting, and as I mentioned, I prepare students for the maritime industry. And being in the maritime industry for a very long time, I speak of experience and also try to hand down that knowledge to them so that when they do come across any situation that they need the skill, I trust that they will be able to do it. Also, fires on board is extremely dangerous, and I prepare them for the scenario that they may face. We also try to make it as realistic as possible, knowing that fires on board a vessel is always dangerous. And once they are prepared here, we send them out into the industry, and once they come on board, they'll be able to identify situations that are potential fire hazards. They are able to fight fires on their own and also in a team. So realistically, when we go down to the simulator, it is extremely hot. It is only a little taste of what they could experience when they do come across a real fire or experience a real fire on board the vessel.
Don't forget, 65 millimeter volume, pressure, that way, pressure, back.
And we try as far as possible to assist them wherever their shortcomings are or the gaps are, that they need to understand that the industry itself is a dangerous one, and there are many, many hazards, especially fires. There are many places where our students will be participating in, will be the engine room, the galley, all those areas, and those are potential fire hazards which they should know, and we try to instill in them the importance of recognition, of recognizing a fire when they see it, or a potential hazard, as I mentioned earlier.
It is then when I went into the space of training, got connected with TVET colleges, and I saw the gap between what was presented by colleges and the limited opportunities for these kids exiting colleges. And when I came to STC-SA, that is where I saw I can make the link between those candidates that exits the colleges, that do not have opportunities to workshops or land-based opportunities, and we could divert them to a maritime sector, to marinize them, as how we call it. The main approach should be not to leave school at that academic level, because you need a certification or at least a trade in your career to enter the sector. And that is why we encourage students to, if you do exit school and there's an opportunity to go to colleges, grab that opportunity and get yourself a trade. And it's with the bursary opportunities through the NSFAS, NSFs, you can then enter the maritime sector and have a career. But it is important for you to go to college or go to an institution to have a trade and then enter the maritime sector. My last words to these candidates are, reach out to the sky. The sky is the limit. The sector is open. It is just for you to connect yourself to the sector. I thank you.